Hi, I'm Sandra, and I help service providers make more money through really good strategy, messaging, and processes. So just really strategic decisions. So by the end of this video, you'll be able to launch your service in a way that has you booked out for weeks, maybe even months, and helps you start a wait list. Stick around to the end to find out the biggest mistake I see almost every single service provider out there make. Now look, I'm just gonna come out and say it. As a service provider, you are a hot commodity. There's only one you, and there's only limited availability to work with you. And you need to use that to your advantage. Now, before anything else, you need to come out and own that and realize that, right? You see these course creators or these digital product creators, and they're like, it's super limited. There's all this urgency. You have to buy it now. It's going to disappear. It's like, no, it's a digital product. That's not how it works, right? But as a service provider, you are very much limited in the amount of clients that you can take on. So you are actually much more scarce, and there's much more urgency to work with you than there is to buy some kind of course or some kind of digital product. Now, the different steps I go through to launch my services is step one, I decide how many spots I actually have. And to be able to do this, you need to definitely have a fixed outcome, a fixed process, pricing, it needs to be packaged up. You can't do this with custom quoting. I'll make sure there's a video in the screen somewhere here or there where I talk more about how to do that, but you need to know how many spots you actually have to sell. Then you need to make sure that you have a proper price. I prefer to start low and increase often because this gives people a reason to book at the current rates and not wait, as opposed to starting low and then making a really big jump once or twice. I would rather do smaller jumps more frequently. And this price increase really adds another layer of urgency to make a decision and work with you now. Now, if I have a wait list, I might give them a little bit of notice or grace period so that they get first dibs on all of the spots. But if I don't have a wait list for this yet, or it's very small, I will just treat everyone I know like they have been on the wait list, because truly they've been waiting for this solution, and it's my job to tell them about it, right? So I send out emails to my newsletter list. I post on social media about the available spots I have. I add the urgency of like, hey, there's only X spots and maybe there's a price increase coming through. So it's a really good time for them to decide that whether they want it or not. Then what happens is that I'm gonna keep sharing and I'm gonna keep going until I sell out the spots I want to sell out, or until I've sold out like 2/3 of it. And by that time, if I'm like, well, now we're really far in the future, it's fine. I can just sit on my website as available for a little while. But usually I would say my recommendation is to keep going till you sell out these spots, right? And I would much rather have you decide to only have 3 spots before increasing your rates and selling them than to have 10 spots and keep talking about them and it's not really moving. Because the thing for launching your services is that selling out the spots and being like, oh, hey, there were 3 spots, now there's 1. This is what's going to create the momentum, because I want to share when I'm booked out, because now people know that, oh, when Sandra opens up these spots, if I don't decide now, in a week, the spots are probably gone, right? Like, it's done, waitlisted again. And this really helps to, put out the message and make it very clear that, hey, you are actually in high demand. Hey, if they want to work with you and spots are available, they better decide and book right now. Now, the biggest problem or the biggest mistake I see service providers make again and again everywhere is that a lot of them seem like they forget they even have services to sell. They don't mention them anywhere. They don't launch them. They don't talk about them. They don't come out and say like, hey, I have availability for this service. If you need help, like a really great solution to get this done, here's why you need it now. This is your next step, right? They just don't even talk about it. So if you would actually come out and share about your service, like you see some people do about their digital product or their freebie, or you might even do it with your podcast interviews, whatever, you're gonna very easily pull ahead of everyone else, because service providers forget to say that, hey, I have a paid solution for this. And the funny thing for that is that the client that needs this and that gets this because you shared about it will thank you for offering it to them. Now, if you want to create a service that is really easy to sell out up to 3 months in advance, maybe even more, depending on what you do and your schedule, you need 3 ingredients to create a booked out service like that. So make sure you check out the video that we're linking somewhere in the screen right now. Thank you so much, and make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this.